Okay, so let's jump right in. I know what you might be thinking. That title sounds a bit dramatic, right? But stick with me, because it actually points to this really profound psychological truth that most of us just, completely miss. We're going to dig into why the calmest person in the room might just be the most powerful one. Really, it all boils down to this one simple question. Think about it. In any high-stakes situation, any argument, who's really in control? Is it the person shouting the loudest, the one making the biggest scene? Or is it someone else entirely? Let's actually break that down. So you've pretty much got two types of people here. On one side, you have the impulsive reactor. And we all know this person, right? Their anger is like a firework. It's loud, it's flashy, but you kind of know exactly what's coming. Then, on the other side, you've got the intentional responder. This person is calm, they're logical, and you have no idea what they're going to do next. That's the core difference we're going to unpack. All right, so first up, we need to dismantle what we can call the anger illusion. It's all about that huge gap between what we think we see and what's actually happening. Ever since we were kids, we've been taught this, haven't we? You see it in movies, you read it in stories. This idea that a big, loud, explosive outburst is a sign of power, of passion. Like, oh, they must care so much, they just can't control it. We're basically programmed to think that loudness equals strength.
But what if that whole way of thinking is just wrong? Seriously, what if that very thing we've always been told is power is actually a sign of having no power at all? Now that's the idea that changes everything.
And that leads us right to where the real power comes from in these moments. It's not in the outburst, it's in the controlled mind. Okay, so the fancy psychological term for this is emotional regulation. But let's be super clear, this isn't about being a robot or having no feelings, not at all. It's actually this really advanced skill where you feel the emotion, you feel that anger, that frustration, but you don't let it drive the car. You're in charge of the emotion isn't in charge of you. In this idea, man, it just flips the whole script, doesn't it? A person who controls their anger isn't weak. They are practicing something incredibly difficult. Think of it like lifting weights for your mind. It's hard work, and it's what makes a person so effective. So this all leads to a huge difference in how people operate. It's really a showdown between two different operating systems, acting on impulse versus acting with intention. And just look at this breakdown. It says it all. For the reactor, what's driving them? Pure, raw emotion. Their action is immediate, totally unfiltered. And the goal? Honestly, it's just to let off some steam. The outcome is, well, it's usually a predictable mess, something you regret later. Now, flip over to the responder. The driver is logic and strategy. The action is deliberate, totally calculated. Their goal isn't just to feel better, it's to achieve an objective. And the outcome? It's precise, it's effective, it's night and day. So here's the bottom line. One person is basically a passenger being taken for a ride by their own feelings, while the other is the pilot in the cockpit. One is playing checkers, the other is playing chess. All right, so let's really dig into that idea. What's the massive strategic advantage of playing chess when everyone else is playing checkers? Let's talk about the incredible power of composure. Think about this for a second. By not reacting immediately, the person in control gets to decide when, where, and how a conflict is handled. They don't get dragged into an argument on your terms. You get brought into a discussion on theirs. And because their mind isn't clouded by that red mist of anger, every single thing they do, every word they say, it's like a surgeon's scalpel. It's precise. It's aimed at a specific goal. There is zero wasted energy. This composure gives them some almost unfair advantages. For one, it makes them unpredictable. You're bracing for an explosion, and instead you just get silence. And that is so unnerving. Their actions are considered, not just a knee-jerk reaction. And here's the kicker. Because they aren't broadcasting their intentions with a big emotional outburst, you don't even see their real move coming until it's too late. Checkmate. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory. But how do we actually do it? How do you go from being a reactor to a responder? Let's look at a pretty simple framework for kind of upgrading your own mental software. It's really just a 3-step process. Step 1, simply acknowledge the feeling. Don't judge it.
Just notice it. Tell yourself, okay, wow, I'm feeling really angry right now. Step 2, create a tiny bit of space between that feeling and the urge to act. A single deep breath is all it takes. That's detachment. And then step 3, in that little gap of clarity you just created, you consciously choose your response instead of letting an automatic reaction choose for you.
And I have to make this crystal clear. This is not about suppressing your emotions. That's just bottling things up, and that's incredibly unhealthy. No, this is about mastery. It's the difference between being a little raft getting tossed around on the waves of your emotions and being the surfer who skillfully rides them. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. The next time you feel that flash of anger or frustration, ask yourself, are you going to be a pawn, just getting moved around the board by your own unfiltered feelings? Or are you going to be the player, the one who pauses, thinks, and decides the winning move? The choice, as always, is yours.